It's 8 o'clock on the 22nd of January. This is Sunday Supplement, our weekly look at the people and politics of Wales and beyond. Well, watching the inauguration in Washington was author, public speaker and political commentator Laura Schwartz. As a former advisor to Bill Clinton, she has more White House insider knowledge than most, so I'm delighted and very grateful to say that she joins me now. Good morning, or good evening. What is it there with you?
It's about 3 o'clock. Good morning, Arwen.
Very good.
But that's okay. I haven't been sleeping days.
Good. To think back then to that inauguration address,
Mm-hmm.
it was trailed beforehand, wasn't it? As he would try to unify the country. This is where he'd maybe move on from divisive campaign, but there was none of that there, was there?
No, there really wasn't. Everybody in America has been looking for Donald Trump to move from campaign mode to a mode of governance. And that did not occur during the address. And then yesterday, his first full day in office was another day on which his new administration was picking a fight with the media over the numbers of people at the inauguration, over the coverage of the inauguration. And it was just this sort of continuation, very close to what your previous two guests were speaking about regarding the single market and Brexit. This is a democracy. This is how the people voted. We never had real nailed down policies. And now is the time to put policy into action. And yet we're still talking about the same inertia that we were 6 months ago.
But how long do you think it will take? Because we've been told time and again, people are taking him literally but not taking him seriously, and you should take him seriously but not literally. Well, when do you think we will get this sense of what a Trump presidency will look like policy-wise?
Yeah, we really kind of call it the first 100 days here in America for every president, because in those first 100 days, Congress is in session, a budget is announced from the White House, and policies start getting shaped on Capitol Hill, and there'll be some votes and signatures. So it's those first 100 days before Easter, folks are going to know sort of which direction the administration is going in, and that's sort of the first recess, if you will, for the Congress. And I think for families to really talk about what's happened since the beginning of the year. And then you will hear many people contacting their members of Congress, the White House, whether that's going to be to say thank you very much or I don't like the way this is going.
If you don't mind my saying, you're sounding a little hoarse, and I think that's probably because you were part of this, the march joined by hundreds of thousands, millions probably worldwide of people.
Yeah.
It was a march for women's rights, saying that they were also human rights. To what extent do you think Donald Trump will be listening to those kind of voices when there's such a loud voice being shouted at it on those issues?
Well, it was very interesting, and yes, a little hoarse from a big week and a big day today. I don't think so. Just to be completely honest and completely blunt, there were some comments out of the administration yesterday. Trying to compare sizes, the Women's March was so much larger in Washington, D.C. than the inauguration. The momentum of the women's marches across the United States, not to mention the world, as we saw in the UK throughout, was really a great moment of both introspection and action, because it's not just about Hillary Clinton almost having achieved the highest office in the land. It's about the struggles that we saw her as a symbol of a woman running for the highest office in the land to go through, where on her platform, equal pay for women was a part, equal health parity was a part of her platform. And so, you know what? Some said, well, this is too little, too late, no matter how many people turn out. She didn't get into the White House. But it goes beyond that. Hillary losing was almost the catalyst for now real change to happen. There are now in Washington, D.C. alone, just today, over 100 women being trained by Emily's List, the pro-women, getting women elected group here in Washington, D.C., getting trained on how to start up their campaign, whether that be for local school board, whether that be for local mayor, whether that be for alderman, councilman, or member of Congress. So now the real hurdle is that Donald Trump is in the White House. It's not going to change. And you've got a great movement yesterday all over the world. But now we've got to keep it going. You've got to keep it going. Otherwise, it'll all be for nothing.
Well, there we are. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Hopefully you can get a little bit of rest now. Laura Schwartz, thank you very much.